What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming 7-star Mightiest Mark Blastoise raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This raid is coming up quick. It's going to be on this Tuesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in the United States, this will be on Tuesday. For everyone else in the world, it will be on Wednesday. So it's coming up real quick. And of course, we care about these raids because they now drop Herba Mystica. So we want to build the best possible things for this. And we're going to go over some builds and some general moves that this Blastoise is probably going to have. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam and a join channel member button below. Now, 7-star Blastoise is going to be a Terra Steel raid with the hidden ability Rain Dish. Now, Rain Dish allows it to heal HP when it's raining, so I have a feeling it's going to set up Rain Dance on turn 0, and it's going to be healing 1/16 of his max life, which is going to be a lot of HP. So stopping the rain is going to be pretty valuable, or doing enough damage where you don't care that's actually regaining HP. But like the Venusaur raid, I assume it's going to have 2 to 3 turn 0 actions, like Venusaur set up the Sun, then use Growth, and then use Petal Blizzard. I have a feeling Blastoise will at the very least start the battle with Rain Dance and then do a setup move and then attack, or a setup move and a stat reset. We'll just have to wait and see, but definitely it's gonna be tricky, and that's why we have some builds coming up. Now, looking at its stats, Blastoise is actually decently well-rounded. 79 HP isn't that great, but with 100 defense and 105 special defense, the thing's an absolute beast. And of course, it's going to be Terra Steel. So Steel is, a very great defensive type. Steel's weak to ground and fire, which water both beat. So fighting type Pokemon do have a big advantage here, as you can beat Steel, but also not be weak to Steel and not to be weak to water. So fighting type Pokemon look to be a better option out of the 3 choices here. Now, it's not that fast, but 78 speed can definitely outspeed some of the slower options out there. And his attack stats aren't too great, 83 and 85, but it does have ways to increase these stats, so it can set up on us, which can definitely be problematic. Now, looking at the moves, I think it's going to go full special attacker, because one, Blastoise just has a much better special move set than physical, and has a slightly higher special attacking move set as well. So Surf is going to probably be its main water move. I mean, it's going to have a water move. It can be Surf, it can be Hydro Pump. I do think it can be Surf. And Flash Cannon is Terra Steel. Flash Cannon is the move it learns on level up. Flash Cannon is an absolute lock. So water move, Flash Cannon, those 2 things absolutely happening. Now, for coverage moves, I think Ice Beam just makes a lot of sense for coverage, because Ice Beam allows it to also beat ground type Pokemon. So let's say there's like a Pokemon has Water Sword or a ground type. Well, Ice Beam will allow Blastoise to deal with that pretty well. So I do think Ice Beam will be a great coverage move for this. And then for his last coverage move, it's going to either be something between Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, and Dragon Pulse. Gonna probably have one of these moves. Honestly, I'm not really scared of any of these 3. I do think Surf, Flash Cannon, and Ice Beam is a really scary combination, though, for a lot of different Pokemon, so it's definitely gonna be tricky to find a good counter. Now, the setup moves is actually really terrifying. So we already know Rain Dance is a lock. That's 100% happening on turn 0. Now, there are, moves within these raids, as we saw at Venusaur, like it used Growth twice. It could have setup moves that are used on turn 0 and then much later in the raid. Now, I do think Shell Smash is the scariest move this Blastoise can have, and I can see the raid start off with turn 0 Rain Dance into Shell Smash into resetting negative debuffs. So it's going to be +2 a physical attack, +2 speed, +2 special attack on turn 0 at the end. I really do think it's going to be something that crazy, so you definitely want to prepare for have some bulk, because this will hurt you a lot on turn 1. And of course, you want to wait to remove its stat buffs as well if that does occur. Now, instead of Shell Smash, it could run, instead of that, Iron Defense. Now, we saw with Venusaur. Venusaur did have Growth on turn 0, but it also had another setup move throughout the raid, and it was using this one freely without any sort of regulation based on the time left or HP left on it. Iron Defense could be the move here, because we have Saw Amnesia on Venusaur. So Iron Defense makes a lot of sense. Blastoise does learn his move, so we can see +2 defenses coming up from Blastoise pretty easily, and that would actually stop a lot of physical attackers, and technically it is weaker on the physical defense side by 5. So it could have Iron Defense. I really hope it doesn't, because that will definitely throw a wrench in a lot of our plans, and that will make us rely on more special attackers, and we're going to be in a bad situation either way, because there's going to be not a lot of ways to defeat this thing quickly with these huge defensive stats, and especially if it starts buffing itself. Now for raid builds, and I'm going to start with my personal favorite Poliwrath, which looks to be the best on paper if we don't get the worst case build on Blastoise. We're going to go Terra Fighting with the item Metronome, and we're going to go max attack, max special defense, adamant nature, and the ability water absorb. So if you get hit by water moves, you get HP back instead, which is going to be really nice. So it makes so we don't get hit by rain boosted water moves, which is definitely going to be happening here. So let's say the Blastoise sets up turn 0 with a Shell Smash or like an Iron Defense. We can use Haze immediately on turn 1. Remove the stat buffs, and then we can start popping off with a Belly Drum. Now, because we're Poliwrath, we are immune to water. We are going to resist steel type moves as well. We can resist a Dark Pulse. We can resist an Ice Beam too, which is going to be really nice. So we have a lot of resistances on our side, and we're decently bulky. So we will be able to get off a Belly Drum, which is going to be very nice here. And with that, after doing the stat debuff on it, we have a decent chance of outspeeding the Blastoise. You may have to put a little bit of speed investment if you don't. But either way, Belly Drum to get that +6 attack and start spamming Drain Punch. Now, Drain Punch with the item Metronome is going to give us a lot of HP back, but also do more damage every time we use it. So that is going to be the main goal here. And then the last move, I like Mud Slap because it is super effective, which is pretty funny. But it goes through shields. It also lowers the accuracy. So you could potentially start with like Haze and then spam like Mud Slap 3 times. Very similar to like the Chestnut strat we did for Venusaur. And then use Belly Drum and then use Drain Punch and just win the match. That may be the way to go. However, if it does spam Iron Defense, it's not like a turn 0 move, but it's a move that uses whenever it wants to. Yeah, then this is not maybe going to be the best. I mean, Belly Drum will at least make you +6, so it's +6 versus +6 on attack versus defense. So you will be at even odds there, but it's not going to be like you're doing a lot of damage. But I still think it'll clear either way. So Poliwrath is my personal favorite. Let's just hope it doesn't have Iron Defense on the Blastoise. Next up is Bronzong. Now, we could run the Iron Defense Body Press build here, and Bronzong's like sort of a shoe-in for like Corviknight as well as Amazenta, all those good Body Press mons. We're going to have Terra Fighting with the item Shell Bell, max defense and max special defense, and we're going to be running a plus special defense in nature here. Now, we could put up the Sun on turn 1, and this will allow us to, you know, take less damage from water moves, which is great, but also make it so Rain Dish doesn't come in play, which is nice. And then we're going to set up Iron Defense and just spam Body Press and then Terra Fighting Body Press to do damage. For the last move, you could put like a Light Screen here instead of a skill swap. You could do a skill swap if you don't want to deal with the Rain Dish anymore, but I think overall Light Screen will just be a little bit better for you in the defensive side. So I think Bronzong's going to be a pretty decent option here in general. Next up is Koraidon. Now, Koraidon, I will say, if the Blastoise has like Ice Beam or Dragon Pulse, it probably won't work, so I'm going to put that out there. So I wouldn't build a new one if you haven't have this already. But I do think Koraidon will be definitely solid in groups. Definitely not for solo, but in groups, I think Koraidon will be good. Terra Fighting with a Shell Bell. I would go max attack, adamant nature. Mine's max HP, but max special defense will definitely be better. On turn 0, we will be putting up the Sun. However, I assume Rain Dance is going to happen from the Blastoise on turn 0. So we can just set up a Sunny Day on our first turn and make it so we get an attack boost again and water moves are weakened for everyone, which is pretty good. Or on turn 1, you could just go for Mud Slaps. Spam Mud Slaps a couple of times, then go for like Swords Dance, and then start spamming Collision Course. Get that HP back. It's going to be a stab super effective hit. This base power of this move is going to be 133 because of the secondary effect of this move. It's going to do a lot. Now, if you don't want to have Mud Slap here, you can put like another move. You can put Drain Punch. That could be another great move. So you can do more damage just in case you run out of collision courses. Or, you know, you maybe replace Sunny Day. But I do think Sunny Day is going to be pretty nice in general because you do get an additional attack boost when the sun is out. But I think Koraidon will be pretty solid overall. It just depends on your online grade group. Next up is going to be Keldeo. Now, the Keldeo should be Terra Fighting. So just remember, Keldeo should be Terra Fighting with the Shell Bell. Mine's a max special attack, max special defense with a modest nature. Now, Keldeo is going to be a little bit slow, but you do get to attack the special defense, which is really nice. So you need like Calm Mind sets. And Secret Sword is actually our best special move, but this targets the physical defense. So I would only use this if there isn't like a Iron Defense boost, then Secret Sword will be good. But if it does have like Iron Defense, then go for Aura Sphere. Calm Mind Aura Sphere will be the way to go. I have Focus Blast on here. It's going to miss, But hey, this could be a Hail Mary with Terra fighting and just really do a lot of damage. Overall, I think Keldeo, is a good Pokemon. Water fighting is going to have a lot of resistances here in general. Very exact same thing as Poliwrath, but I do think it's a little bit on the weaker side, and there's not a lot of great special fighting types. But I think it's worth checking out as an attempt too. Now going over to supports, I think Mew is going to be great overall. You can change the Terra type to whatever you think is suitable. I think Terra Water would be great here. I have Shell Bell on mine. I would run max HP and max special defense on Mew in general. Mine's just not built up yet. But I think overall, the moveset you want to have is Life Dew to heal your team. Snarl to lower that special attack. Fake Tears to lower that special defense. Does not work through shields. And then you can spam Mud Slap. Mud Slap will work through shields, lower that accuracy. I think this is going to be great. You could replace Fake Tears for Sunny Day, just so the water moves do less damage in general. But I think with Snarl support, you don't really need to change the weather in general. Next up will be Umbreon. Mine's just Terra Dark with the wide lens. You can make it Terra Water if you want. Max HP, max special defense with a plus special defense nature. Now we have Sunny Day to remove the water, so that's great. Remove Rain Dish. Fake Tears to lower the special defense. Doesn't work through shields. Snarl to lower the special attack, works through shields. But we also have Screech. So I do think Umbreon is a little bit better than Mew because it is flexible. Mew doesn't have a way to lower the physical defense of a Pokemon, but Umbreon does. So I think Umbreon is going to be really good here. The only thing you have to worry about from Blastoise with Umbreon is potentially an Aura Sphere. But, you could adjust and potentially remove the Fake Tears if you don't want to run like a special defense lowering move for a light screen, and then you'll be in a better spot overall. Now for our next supporter is Poltegeist, and you can run Shell Bell on it or Cover Cloak, up to you. I think Shell Bell will be a better item in here in general. Or you could run Light Clay here because we are running Light Screen. I think that'll be a better option. So this is sort of like a meme set, but it works really well. Max HP with a max special defense and a plus special defense nature with a minus speed nature, which I think is pretty good. So we have the ability Weak Armor, which whenever we get hit, our defense lowers, but our speed goes up. So turn 1, we're just going to hit Skill Swap. So we now have Rain Dance of Rain Dish. We're going to be getting the HP back. And whenever the Blastoise gets hit, it's going to be getting -1 speed, -1 defense, +1 speed, -1 defense, +1 speed. So that's going to be great, especially you have physical attackers on the team. So eventually it will just keep lowering its physical defense. And even if it does have iron defense, whenever we hit it, we are going to be dropping it. So if we attack it every turn, that's going to be -4 defense every turn. That's going to outweigh the iron defenses. So that's going to be great. We also have Trick Room because it is going to be getting the speed boost. Use Trick Room so we end up being faster than it. Light Screen just to protect the team in general. It's like +2 special defense for the team, which is why I do recommend Light Clay on it overall. Lastly, just any sort of attacking move, whatever you're comfortable with. I know Gauge Range resisted, but it does give you a little bit of HP back. You could use String Sap if you want. You have a couple of options here, but there's not a lot of great options for a move. You could use Foul Play if it somehow has physical investment in general. That could be really nice too. You could use Dark Pulse if you just want a more consistent move here. But it's really going to depend what you want. And like I said, I would recommend putting on Light Clay onto the Poltegeist here because I think it's just overall going to be the better item than Cover Cloak. But there we have it, guys. That is all the Pokemon that I recommend for this raid. Of course, when the raid happens, I'll have a final video with the best solos. Maybe a one-turn KO video will be coming out soon. I got some ideas I'm cooking. But stay tuned for PanFro Games for more Pokemon raid action, video game action in general. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.